Imagine this: a deep, dark night. You're on a small boat, caught in the middle of a massive sea. The wind is howling, and the waves are crashing over the sides, rising up like walls around you. You and your friends are exhausted, rowing with all your might, but you're getting nowhere. This is exactly where Jesus' disciples found themselves on the Sea of Galilee. They had just witnessed a miracle Jesus feeding thousands of people with just a tiny bit of food. But now their teacher was gone, up on a mountain praying, and they were alone, fighting for their lives in a terrifying storm. Can you feel their fear? The exhaustion, the feeling of being completely overwhelmed. Suddenly, through the chaos, they see something, a figure walking on the water, moving towards them through the storm. Their first thought, it's a ghost. Pure terror grips them. But then a voice cuts through the wind, a voice they know and trust. It's calm, strong, and full of peace. Take courage, it says. It is I, don't be afraid. It was Jesus, walking on the raging sea as if it were a paved street. One of the disciples, Peter, always the bold one, feels a surge of something incredible. It's not just courage, it's faith. He looks at Jesus, standing impossibly on the waves, and he calls out, "Lord, if it's really you, tell me to come to you on the water." And Jesus gives a simple, powerful, one-word invitation: come. So Peter does the unthinkable. He swings his legs over the side of the boat. He puts his foot down onto the churning surface of the water, and it holds him. He takes one step, then another. He's actually doing it. He is walking on water. How? Not because he suddenly gained superpowers, but because his eyes were locked on Jesus. His focus was entirely on the one who called him. The wind was still roaring. The waves were still crashing. But as long as he looked at Jesus, he was doing the impossible. But then, just for a second, he made a mistake we all make. He took his eyes off Jesus and looked down at the storm around him. He saw the giant waves. He felt the fierce wind, and in that instant, fear flooded his heart. The faith that held him up faltered, and he began to sink into the dark water. He cried out, "Lord, save me." What happened next is the most beautiful part of the story. The Bible says that immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. There was no hesitation, no lecture, no "I told you so." Just an instant, saving grasp. As Jesus pulled him up, he said gently, "You of little faith, why did you doubt?" It wasn't an accusation. It was a loving question from a teacher to his student. Hand in hand, they walked back to the boat together. And the moment they stepped inside, the storm just stopped. The wind died down. The sea became perfectly calm. The other disciples who had watched this whole incredible scene fell to their knees in awe. They finally understood. "Truly," they said, "you are the Son of God." This story isn't just about a miracle that happened 2,000 years ago. It's a message for you and me, right now, in whatever storm we're facing. Faith isn't about waiting for the skies to clear and the waters to calm down. Real faith begins when you dare to step out of the boat in the middle of the storm, trusting the one who calls you. When your eyes are fixed on him, you can rise above the things that are trying to pull you under: your fears, your anxieties, your problems, your limitations. They lose their power when your focus is in the right place. And here's the best part. Even when you falter, even when you doubt and start to sink, he is right there. His hand is already reaching for you. He doesn't condemn you for your moment of weakness. He lifts you up, holds you tight, and walks you back to safety. So whatever storm you're in today, remember this. Don't stare at the waves. Look, Cap, the one who controls the storm is calling your name. He's inviting you to walk with him. Thank you so much for watching. If this story encouraged you, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who might need to hear this message today. We'll see you in the next video.